Sponsored by the Love Radio Network.
This is Green Machine Radio on Intelligent Talk 1170 KCBQ. This show features all types of green industry products. Now, here's your host, Dave Stahl.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome. You're listening to the Green Machine Radio Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Alex.
And we've got a great show planned for you tonight. This segment, or this show actually, is going to be dedicated to hydrogen power systems. We've got Richard Connors and Michael Lutz in the house, and they're going to explain to us the benefits of hydrogen power systems. Now, I know the first thing you're hearing is, ooh, hydrogen. Well, we're going to explain that to you, and I think when you finish up with this hour, you're going to have a totally new appreciation for a better way to get from point A to point B, especially if you're a diesel-powered type guy or girl, because, we know we all drive them. So without going too much farther into it, let's talk to Richard. Richard, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave.
So tell us a little bit about, first off, what is hydrogen power systems for people that know nothing?
Well, as one of our friends said, relax, it's just water. Mm-hmm. Because all we do is take a small amount of water and generate hydrogen, a small amount of hydrogen from that water. We pipe that little bit of vapor into your air's intake filter, air filter. Mm-hmm. And when the hydrogen combines with the gasoline or the diesel in the air, because hydrogen burns 10 times faster, you get a cleaner, more effective, complete burn. That's where we get the increase in fuel mileage.
Because we all know, whether it be gas, diesel, it doesn't make any difference. We do not burn 100% of the fuel that runs through that system.
That's correct.
And what you figured out a way to do is to capture that waste, and actually, instead of it going either into the combustion chamber or out the tailpipe, being eaten up by the catalytic converter, if so be equipped, you figured out a way to maximize the most out of the fuel, as it's going through the system.
That's correct. We make no modifications to the engine except a little hose into the air filter, incoming air, and we are able to clean up the burn to get more energy from the same amount of fuel.
Right. Now, you folks have been listening to me for more than 20 years, and you know me, the one thing I always have a pet peeve about is there's a lot of folks coming to me with all kinds of new ideas, new gadgets, First thing I want to see is, what did you do as far as certification? And I didn't even have to ask Richard, because he came to me first, and he just says, good Lord, I spent a fortune with California Air Research Board. I think they've got a new wing on their building thanks to me. But if you didn't do it, then it wouldn't have been, you'd be just spinning your wheels.
Well, that's true. And to be quite honest, the CARB rules are there to protect the public from snake oil,
right,
shysters, and other kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, Michael Lutz, who's a new employee of Hydrogen Power, him and I were talking kind of off to the side, and that was your first thought when you were looking at this job. Geez, is this another snake oil?
Oh, yeah. I had no idea how long they were going to be around for. I thought, is this even worth it?
Should I at least get a shirt?
Right. Yeah. Get the free hat and take off.
Yeah, right.
No, but that's what I thought originally. And, it took me a little while to get on board with this. But I learned about it. I got in there. I got my hands dirty more than once. I read the books. But what really put me over the top was when he had me come on a road test with him on one of the vehicles that we installed this product on. This was a big truck, a diesel engine. We got 13% back. And
wow.
Yeah, we had a tank that we hooked up to it. We could see the results right there, how much we were putting in and what we got back. And I think from that point on, I was pretty much
sold. But with today's technology and the way to build the system, because a system has to be part of the application to this product going to the vehicle, and I think today, the equipment today is way better than the equipment was, even as much as 5 years ago. And just so people don't think that Richard just figured this out all by himself. I mean, this theory's been bouncing around for what? How many years would you say?
The first patent in America was by a fellow in Ohio in 1918.
Yeah. And that was the industry you were really going after, was the over-the-road guys. Because nobody seems to want to cut the cost of fuel for over-the-road guys. I don't know why, because if we don't, our shirts are going to cost $10 more. So if we can give those guys some benefit, because what, 70-80% of our product goes across the road or in that area, some number. So, it's big. And I have to admit, and you will too, it's very difficult to convince these over-the-road guys that you have something that they're going to like. But I think, I think your justification is California Air Research Board, and that was not an overnight deal. How long did that take?
Well, I started this quest about 2.5 years ago. They requested all sorts of information, and I think it was fair.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where a lot of people can't get that far. Now, I'm not saying other people that don't get CARB certification have bad products. I'm not saying that. It's just that they didn't have the wherewithal, nor do they have the funds to invest in it. But to get a stamp of approval from California Air Research Board, that's really all you need. Now it's an open door. And with that, not only do you get better fuel mileage, what are some of the other benefits?
Well, the other benefits are because you are burning the hydrocarbons more completely, there is less carbon to build up on your valves and your pistons and to drain out into your oil.
Right.
So you
and
get
that's
a cleaner
huge.
running engine.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize that.
Here's the trade secret. All we do to your engine is stick a rubber hose in your air cleaner.
That's it.
That's it. There's no modifications to your engine, no modifications to your electronics. It's just vapor.
And what that means is, folks, there's no warranty being voided. So if you bought a brand new diesel truck and you want to put this on it, you're not going to have to worry about when somebody if you roll it into the dealership, you're not going to have to take everything off before you go in. It's an accepted product. It'll have the CARB number on it. And that's the other thing, too. Got to have that number. If that number's not on there, then you can say whatever you want. So having that number on there helps.
1170 KCBQ.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to the Green Machine Radio Show. And we've got a special show for you tonight. We're going to talk about hydrogen power systems. Now, this is not brand spanking new, but it is new in the respect that this system looks like it's going to really give you some serious benefits. It's CARB approved. It's kind of shot towards the main over-the-road guys, the big diesel trucks, because that's who really needs the savings. You guys are collecting data on a daily basis showing that the system works. And I think that's the important thing. And I have to re-emphasize, folks, when we mention hydrogen, nothing's going to blow up. It's water. It's just water turns to vapor. And if you know anything about science, you'll know that's how hydrogen comes to be. And hydro, that's water. That generates hydrogen. So it's generating power. It's not blowing anything up.
Nope. We don't have any hydrogen tanks on our system.
There you go. That's the kicker.
We have a tank of water called electrolysis.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing. We make bubbles.
Exactly. Yep. And the bubbles make power.
That bubbles make power.
And save you a little fuel.
I was asking,
You
is
didn't
there
raise your
a way?
finger.
Yeah, well, is there a way to change the flow rate? So, like, if we already know there's a Goldilocks point for efficiency.
So we ask you, Mr. Truck Driver, how big is your truck? What's the size of your engine, and what do you use it for? Is it a garbage truck or is it long haul? Is it 7 liter or 15 liters? And knowing that, we can flip 3 little switches to give you that Goldilocks spot.
So with that being said, just from a curiosity point of view, what are we looking at from a size factor? What kind of capacity do we have to have in a vehicle for this system to fit?
This thing will fit in what looks like a small toolbox bolted to the side of most trucks.
Right, and you're
Not gonna
talking
hurt it.
Yeah, and you're talking 99 cents a gallon for distilled water.
Not even 79 cents at Target.
I knew you'd go to Target. Almost 2,000 miles.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
that is
There's
absolutely
a lot of
amazing.
hydrogen in a gallon of water.
Yeah, I agree. And that that's a good point too, because if you looked at a gallon of water, there is hydrogen in there.
H2O.
Well, right now, I guess the challenge too is infrastructure. You know how many places will install it.
We currently have 2 dealers in the locale, and I'm going to put a shout out to the Dyno Shop in Santee,
Oh yeah, I know the boys.
Gal's Auto Pro in Escondido,
Yep.
and Hawthorne Caterpillar has been an early supporter, and we are looking forward to having them become a dealer in the next few months.
Right. And folks, we're not, again, when we're talking an installer, we're not talking about somebody who had to go to MIT. Now, I've never been one to advise that people do it at home necessarily. I think it's always done better by an installer that does this on a regular basis. Yeah, and the thing of it is, when you do have this system installed, like I say, other than keeping track of your water level, there's really nothing else to it. There's no maintenance.
No, there's not. We have lights that come on when the water tank goes empty. A white light comes on and the system turns off.
Oh, okay.
The whole thing is automatic. The operator has got no dials to turn, no
Right.
shiny little bezels to watch.
And if it does run out of water, it just goes back to the original system.
Yeah, the system turns off and you go back to what your truck was doing before.
And when you notice you're losing fuel mileage and a little bit of power, you better
buy some water.
Pay attention to that water. Yeah. Again, a lot of people still probably are thinking about it, but imagine if you did the math of what a trucker could save. Just say driving from here to L.A. I bet it's got to be in the hundreds.
It's a lot. Most trucks on the overhaul get about 6.5 miles per gallon. If he increases just by 7.5 miles per gallon, that's a 15% boost.
Wow.
One of our customers drives 121,000 miles a year, and if you're paying $4 a gallon,
Yeah.
and you're saving 15%, that's about $10,000 or $11,000.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah.
our system is a device that can pay for itself inside of 18 months or less. for
Right.
guys.
It's a good turnaround.
I think it's a great turnaround. It may not be for grandma's car, but the race, Alex was alluding to the racing community. These guys are hauling race cars all over the United States, whether it's from here to Sacramento or here to Paris Auto Speedway. If you're driving a diesel and you're pulling a 24 plus trailer, this is a product that you might need. My next question is going to be coming up too, and I think we touched on it a little bit, is yes, we're saving fuel mileage. We've got a cleaner running engine, but where are we at as far as the power band goes? Are we getting more power out of the engine because of the hydrogen?
We are. We're actually getting, again, scientific tests have shown between 6 and 10% of both horsepower and torque. I was on a test run yesterday with one of the Hawthorne mechanics on one of their 15-liter trucks, and he says he didn't have to put the pedal down to shift like he was doing before, and he had the big smile on his face.
Wow. And again, it's, we can talk about it till the cows come in, but until you physically get in it, drive it, before and after, then it's like, wow. Well, a prime example was Michael. Michael was not totally sold on it. I mean, he's applying for a job, and he thought, what the hey, let's check this thing out. And then, am I not right? Until you
you're
actually
totally right.
experienced it.
Worked out.
Yeah, it sold you. You said,
Well, I see a lot of potential here. The product is just so ripe for the market right now, especially with gas prices. Just going through the roof.
Yeah.
In addition to the long-haul truckers, one thing I'm thinking for the average motorist out there is, because you now have a cleaner burning exhaust system, this may actually help many people that were borderline or long-term, where they're running what's considered like an overt offender on their emissions to get it passed. And maybe by just adding this system, you're going to clean it up, where people are going to have a much easier time when they have to pass their emissions checks as well.
Well, that's a fair statement, but here's the party line in the state of California.
yes.
We are not allowed to advertise
Right.
pollution benefits because there's various reasons for that. But I can tell you that the savings of fuel and the completer burn of fuel goes hand in hand with reduced pollution.
Yes.
Now, if you happen to be an out-of-state customer, give us a call and we will send you all the pollution data you want.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's take our quick break
Oh,
here.
and we're certified in Europe, too.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. This is the Green Machine Radio. I'm Dave.
I'm Alex.
And we're talking hydrogen power systems. No. It's just water. Take a break. We'll be back in a moment. This is The Love